Well, you guys know that I'm a huge fan of Ondo. Ondo Finance has been continuing to increase its holdings, increase its partnerships, and increase its tokenization. And that's an awesome thing. But September was a huge month for Ondo. I don't know if you guys know this, but there was just a huge amount of activity. And Ondo like kind of laid it all out, what they've all done in September. And this is just September. This is a lot of chains like 6-month plan. Ondo has done this all in the course of a month. So, and they actually consider it September to be Ondo's most significant month. So why don't we dive into this, because this is awesome. September marked Ondo's most significant month to date. From the launch of Ondo Global Markets to Wisdom Tree joining the Global Markets Alliance and USDY now live on Stellar, Ondo is executing on its vision to build an open economy accessible to all. Ondo Global Markets launches with 100 plus tokenized stocks and ETF. We covered this, by the way. This was like really awesome news. And this is huge because it allows people in other countries to trade on these coins trade on these stocks that might not otherwise have access to it. Plus, I think it's just a good idea to have it on chain. Makes everything, it just adds liquidity, makes everything just a lot easier for people. OUSG becomes the sole anchor and largest investor in Fidelity's tokenized fund. Let's look at that. Are proud to share that Ondo Finance's OUSG fund is the sole anchor and largest investor in Fidelity's new tokenized fund, Fidelity Digital Interest Token. So huge partnership with Fidelity. That is like this is like the Vanguard that actually likes crypto, or that actually likes crypto. So Vanguard like has started to signal that like maybe they'll kind of explore crypto after saying absolutely not for a long time. But Fidelity has been absolutely on it. So just to give a quick shout out of what they're doing: instant 24/7 subscriptions and redemptions, daily interest accruals, low fees, and multi-chain support across Ethereum, Solana, Ripple, and Polygon. Obviously need to add Algorand and HBAR in there, but yeah, big deal. That's just one of the things. We got so much more. Peter Curley appointed head of global regulatory affairs. We talked about this earlier, but this dude is like, well, let's just look. Decades of experience shaping financial policy at Coinbase, the SEC, U.S. Department of Treasury, and the Hong Kong Exchanges and Clearing Limited. A little bit of experience, just a little bit of experience that he's bringing to the table. Like that's a guy you want on your team. Awesome job for Ondo. And then here's the Wisdom Tree. Wisdom Tree joining the Global Markets Alliance, which is a global asset manager with 131 billion in Australian dollars, pioneering digital innovation and finance through tokenized assets and blockchain-based investment solutions. And then, of course, they launched their USDY yield coin on Stellar. We're unlocking access to yield for global economics. I'll tell you, the banks don't want this, by the way. The banks are so mad about yield on crypto because they know they've been taking advantage of you for years. They're taking your money and they're investing it and they're making money on your money while you are not making money on your money. So crypto fixes that. That's why this stuff matters. That's why, USDY, good. Let's hold that USDY and make some money. You can take USDC and put it on folks' finance and make money, or you can put it in the bank and earn like 0.1% or some crap like that. Ondo published an open letter to the World Federation of Exchanges. We believe tokenization is not only here to stay, but is an essential step forward for global financial markets. However, recent commentary risks conflating poorly conceived and opaque products with thoughtfully designed and transparent tokenized securities. So we want to make it clear, tokenization is not a loophole. It's a modernization of financial markets. Well-designed products integrate custody, investor protections, transparency, and security on par with or even surpassing traditional systems. And I would say actually definitely surpassing traditional systems. They're just not designed for the new age. And regulators in the US, EU, and globally are already establishing frameworks that recognize tokenization assets as tokenized assets as legitimate. Yeah, 100% agree. This is the new administration. They're actually caring about this. They're setting rules, clear guidelines and rules that companies can follow. This is new from the past, where they just left it the Wild West and then decided to enforce whenever they felt like it, which is super bizarre to me. So that is Ondo. What a month. Wow, the spam on Kick is crazy. Anyway, let's go back to, let's see, we got more stuff on Ondo, by the way. Look at this TVL. Ondo TVL continues to go parabolic and is now at $1.7 billion. That is with a B. That is a crazy amount of TVL. That's got to be one of the top ones. Gut tells me Ondo explodes in Q4 to $5. I don't want to make any price predictions, but it's already about $1. So that one, you know, $3, $4, $5 would not surprise me. This one's kind of interesting. I don't know a lot about this, but it said a ton of Ondo was sent to Arthur Hayes' wallet. There aren't any unlocks that happened over the past month, so it looks like Arthur bought these over the counter. Unless I'm missing something, but if he did these over the counter, he did buy these over the counter, then I'm sure he knows something is brewing. Keep in mind that he loaded up on ENA and Hype before those were the talk of the town. Also, interesting timing considering the SEC is giving the green light on tokenized stocks. Am I supposed to know who this is, by the way? Let's look it up really quick. Because, you know, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, remember that thing I said where I think stuff isn't... So he's an American entrepreneur. And seems to care about crypto. Arthur Hayes is a banker. Sorry, let me pull this up here. Here's Arthur Hayes. He was born in 1985. He's an American entrepreneur, a co-founder and former CEO of cryptocurrency exchange BitMEX. Interesting. Hayes is credited with inventing the perpetual swap, a derivatives contract that recognizes crypto trading. And also the youngest African-American to achieve billionaire status in the crypto industry. Yeah, so I think if he's buying, I think that's a pretty big deal. That's kind of a big deal, huh? But it was sent to him. That's, well, like you said, it was probably an over-the-counter transaction. Ondo's head of DeFi, Matt Bloomberg, on stage at Token 2049, explaining why Ondo is the largest issuer of tokenized stocks. Would have been nice to get a little video there, huh? And then this is a little more about the Ondo Fidelity news, which I think is a pretty big deal. A couple weeks back, we saw Ondo OUSG become 99% of Fidelity's FDIT tokenized fund. Fidelity is no small player at 4.9 trillion AUM, assets under management. They're one of the few investment giants on par with BlackRock, which we know Ondo's already partnered with. Now we're seeing Ondo and Fidelity take their collaboration further. The two are hosting an event around digital asset builders. We'll be excited to see how Fidelity and Ondo's relationship continues to progress. Like I said, Fidelity is like basically, they're like the Vanguard that actually likes crypto. Like take Vanguard, you know, which I own a bunch of Fidelity funds and Vanguard. I own both through my stock portfolio, which is far bigger than my crypto portfolio, to be honest. But it'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be cool if I could buy some of this stuff on chain instead, which you'll be able to do. But yeah, Fidelity, Ondo plus Fidelity, I like that partnership a lot. Definitely. Let's see, do we have any Ondo? Also, Ondo is now available on Ledger, bringing tokenized equities to Ledger live with Ondo Finance. Let's look at this one. We'll go to our other one here. Ledger users can now access 100 plus tokenized stocks and ETFs directly via Ledger Live. Ledger and Ondo's integration gives users a self-custodial way to manage tokenized real-world assets in Ledger Live as seamlessly as their crypto. This integration facilitates scaling of tokenized markets. I wish we could make that bigger. Maybe we can make that. Yeah, there we go. This integration facilitates scaling of tokenized markets by solving the user experience and compliant hurdles. You can do that right on Ondo. Very cool. Right on Ledger Live. I think that's the gist of it. I think that's what we were looking for. So nice. So I am very bullish on Ondo, as you may have guessed. While we're doing that, let's just see some of you guys watching this after the fact. Wow, Bitcoin almost at 124 now. Crazy. Ondo, let's see what Ondo's doing. Let me pull up Ondo here. Yeah, Ondo's sitting at just under $1, so it's up a little, headed on up. Maybe not pumping as much as, well, that's nice though. That's a nice candle. What's it been doing on the week? Yeah, about 9% on the week, so not bad for Ondo. Sentiment is bullish, I see. So yeah, nice on Ondo. I like seeing the action on it, and I really think Ondo is going to have a nice quarter 4. But I think that's it for our Ondo segment.